Fitness, the second F of the 3F essential morning routine. If you want to improve your hormones, your gut health, your brain, you should be doing the 3F morning routine. I'm Dr. Amy Shah, and this is another episode of Dr. Confidential. This is the place where we break down the science and make it into usable habits so that we can save ourselves. If you like this episode, make sure you like and follow. We're going to discuss the second F, fitness, the biggest part of the morning routine, the 3Fs. So we already went over fasting in that last episode, and we talked about circadian fasting and how that can be really helpful. And then now we're going to be talking about fitness. Those are like my two favorite things, fasting and fitness. And we have to get through the third F in the next episode. I know you're a huge fitness person also.
Not usually in the morning though. So I'm curious to see how this will go.
Fasting, the first episode where we talked about fasting. So when I used to tell people the three things that I do so often, I do the fitness, the fasting, and then the third F, which we'll talk about later. People would always ask me about the fasting, which is how I ended up with the Instagram handle FastingMD, because everybody was always asking me about the fast. Now, I have branched out from there and I do a lot of other things. This episode of Dr. Confidential is sponsored by Amy MD Chai Latte. It's the very best chai latte out there. It is sweetened with stevia. It is creamy. It tastes like a coffee house drink, but it doesn't have 50 plus grams of sugar, doesn't have the additives. It's not made in a plastic cup. It is beautiful, delicious, warm, and healthy. I would have to say that the second F is kind of my favorite thing now.
So where would you start with fitness? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
So walking is the most powerful thing you can do. Walking,
that's not what I would expect.
Yeah, walking is one of the most simplest but underrated exercises that you can do. Just 2,500 steps is all you need to take. That's about a 25-minute walk. That's all you need to do to start to get the medical benefits. The reduction in death by 8%, the reduction in cardiovascular disease by like 11%. Just by doing a walk. That's something simple that everybody can do. I love walking in the morning because that sunlight that goes through your retina, it goes into your brain and resets all the circadian rhythms. And you know circadian rhythms run our bodies. It's a 24-day and night cycle.
I certainly feel more energy in the morning or like throughout the day when I go on a sunny walk in the morning.
Yeah, and you know, for us, often when we're like discussing things and we have to talk big picture or hash things out, we do it on a sunny walk.
Yeah,
and
it's the best way to do it, really.
Yeah, like it instantly makes you feel better and you can think better. And when you're moving, especially in a rhythmic pattern, it can be really calming for your nervous system. So that morning routine, all you have to do is you start, you make sure you've fasted for 12 or more hours, and then just hop out, either go for a quick walk. If you can't do anything, just do a few minutes. Actually, a study showed that even just 2 minutes of walking is when things start to change in your body.
Okay, anybody can do that.
Yeah,
right?
and then, you know, up to then 2,800 steps, you start to get reductions in death and heart disease and all that stuff. So I think it's an essential part of how you can transform your body. And we talk about saving ourselves all the time. I think doing a walk is the number one way, but there's also some other workouts.
Yeah, so what about like higher intensity? Would you kind of go away from that, or is that maybe encouraged?
Okay, so depends on what you're doing. People always ask me, should I do a fasted workout? And I always say it depends. So we talk about fasting, but we talk about really circadian style fasting. So you don't have to be fasting for 20 hours to get the benefits. Circadian style fasting means maybe you just fast from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., something like that. So you could still eat a breakfast before you go work out if you'd like. But for those people who want to do fasted workout, it is a nice chance to use up the glucose in your bloodstream and use up some of the stored glycogen in your liver and actually start using fat for fuel once that's used up. So a lot of people will fast overnight and then they'll continue their fast and do their workout, so they dip into those stores and you get this switch where instead of using carbohydrates for energy, your body has to use fat.
Okay, seems worth it.
Yeah, it's a nice way to really switch your metabolic machinery. But if you're going for a PR, which is like a personal record, if you're going for time, if you're going to compete in something where how fast you do it or how hard you do it matter, then I wouldn't do it fasted. Fasted workouts are not for having your optimal strength and power and speed. It's for people who are just waking up and want to get into that metabolic switch zone, or maybe just want to move their bodies. And studies show that morning is the time that you're most likely to do it. You know, and I know. I know for me, like if I don't get my morning workout in, there is a chance that I'm not getting any workout.
The day is different.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's just snowballs. Everything snowballs, and then you may or may not get a chance chance to do a workout later. So that is one of the best things you can do, not only for your body composition, but also your brain, because you want it to start getting that blood flow early in the morning.
And it's good to start with a win in the morning, you know, kind of set yourself up for success. It's good to kind of tick that off and have a walk under your belt.
And I think that's what the 3 F's are, is like really get 3 wins under your belt, so that if you do nothing else in the day and you're exhausted and you have no time to do any of the other things, these are the things.
You still feel good.
Yeah, you still feel good. So that's how I would do the fitness. Now, yoga counts, Pilates counts, martial arts counts. I love weight training. I think every woman, especially, women are often afraid of weight training because they think they're gonna get bulky, but it's just not true. You're not gonna get bulky. And you're already, signed up for this because you go and weight train all the time with your boyfriend. But for me, for many years, I did no weight training because I thought, well, I don't want to have that look, that bulky look.
Yeah, that's what you assume that you think is going to happen because you see people, but they're striving for that. You don't have to strive for that yourself. You know?
Right. And we don't have the levels of hormones to support a super muscular physique, especially as we get older, without the help of like adding hormones or doing some crazy weight. Like I was trying to gain muscle for a long time this last year, and I found out that it's really hard. So it's not like it's gonna be so easy for you to bulk up. I think women really, really are scared of that, and I don't think that they need to be. And also, the thing is, as you get older, you really want to be very strong, and the muscles pull on the bones and making the bones stronger. So it's not just about how you look, it's like how well you can function, how good your bone health is, like
quality of life.
Quality of life. Like, so weight training, I think 3 times a week is essential also. So out of the 3 F's, we went over fasting. Now this was fitness, which is my very favorite thing. Like there will be days, I don't know about you, I don't know if you track your steps, but I have days where I go over 20,000 steps, and that's because I try to walk as much as possible at every opportunity possible because I know the benefits. Now, the studies show the benefits kind of stop improving at about 10,000 steps, like 9,800 steps is like the upper limit of where they see people getting benefits. So if you do more than that, it's really just for fun. But I think it's a nice exercise. Like I'm always like, how little can I sit in a day?
Yeah, because I know I've heard at least that a sedentary lifestyle is like big risk for health when it comes to like if you were gonna do something for yourself, like having a sedentary lifestyle would not be it.
Yeah, like sitting is the new smoking, is that what people say? And
that's
it's like,
what I've heard.
Sitting is really terrible for our health. So many of us sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, and I think I could never do that. I think, ever since I was in training, there was a couple of years where I was a research fellow, and I had a desk job for a lot of the time when I was in the lab, and it was crazy because I really got used to it. Like you bring your big coffee and your snacks and you just sit there. It was so weird. I was like, who am I? Like I'm just sitting here for 8 hours. So, and I know that so many people do that. So what's your favorite type of fitness?
Well, I've been getting into yoga recently, which is way more intense than people lead on.
I know.
And it's hot yoga too, so very sweaty, but you know me too, I love the traditional weight training.
Yeah. I think for me, I would rank like now, this past 2 years, I would rank walking number 1, and then weight training and yoga for me are number 2 tied, because I like to do both of them alternatively, like alternating. And then other types of workouts like swimming and biking, I haven't done much of, but I want to do more. Tennis, swimming. Tennis is actually an amazing sport and great for your brain health. It's the best sport to do as you age. I know that you like to play tennis.
Yeah.
Pickleball and tennis are like, racket sports are amazing for the brain as we age.
And you wouldn't believe how many calories that you can burn in one pickleball game.
Oh yeah, pickleball is like no joke. Yeah. So thank you for watching. We've kind of finished. There's so much more we could be talking about with fitness, but fitness should be an essential part of your morning routine. Whether it's 2 minutes or it's 2 hours, you want to be having fitness into your day.
And that's 2 of the F's of our 3F morning, right?
Yeah,
So
stay tuned for the last F for next week. We'll be dropping that. Also, check out our new gut hormone certification coming up in January. All the details are on my website now. All right, thank you for watching.